I'm sort of.
I have no clue how to connect this thing. Oh, okay. That's helpful.
I'm actually just writing a prompt out for something.
Where is this thing supposed to go? What are you working on?
I was just writing a prompt out.
Oh, to do what?
To write some code or something at work.
Nerd.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. Dude, I've been kind of obsessed this week with doing stuff for with these coding tools, CLI coding tools. I'm actually almost at the point where I'm thinking if I can think of so I've got Codex, which is for personally, I've got Codex for ChatGPT, and I've got Gemini's CLI tool, which Gemini's CLI tool is like nowhere near as good as Claude Code is. Codex Codex seems to have the reasoning that Claude has, but it's slow, like super slow compared to Claude. So I'm at the point where I'm almost like, if I can think of a really good project to work on, getting the $200 Claude Code subscription and just going ham might be something I would do.
Well, I got one for you. Of course, you're not going to think it's good. I'm trying to sell this microphone. You can't see. Hold up. See this?
Yes, I see that. My name is Scott.
I hit trees like Sonny Bono. From Cleveland to Toronto. All right, so this was a revelation to me, but you can tell me that it's not, right? one of the biggest disruptors, there's been a lot, but one of the biggest disruptors since generative AI has been out in its mainstream is it discourages content creators to write articles, blog posts. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
So, and the reason why is because you have web crawlers that crawl the web and it just consumes anything that is a website that's public facing. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well,
so it's
yeah.
it scripts the web if it's public
I
facing.
think it's, yeah, and it's not so much for the training, although they might do that, but I think it's more for like when you ask it a question, it goes out and searches and finds stuff and scrapes it.
Yeah.
So it's
So-
you see it, or sorry, it sees the website, people don't.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the same information gets conveyed, correct? Yeah.
So people are less reluctant to spend their, give an opportunity cost. People are reluctant to spend half a day writing a thoughtful blog post and formatting it and editing it, revising it, and then publishing it if the only consumer of it that they really don't even get credit for is your generative AI, hence GPT, Gemini, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the workaround to actually get acknowledged, because yes, people are looking for answers to questions, but people also like following other people's thoughts and opinions. So how do you follow someone's thought and opinion? Well, how do you discover somebody's thought and opinion? You can still Google, but you're still the very first thing you're going to see at the top of the page is a Gemini answer for a question versus being led to a thought leader and then subsequently following that thought leader. If you're still with me, then
Mm-hmm.
the solution is, well, you stop posting to websites and you start posting to native platforms. That's it.
Well, yeah, the I would say that you stop posting to websites and you start to post to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Articles?
I mean,
Artic-
sort of.
What?
I don't think people will write articles anymore.
No, I think people aren't writing articles anymore because they're not getting credit.
No, it's because video has taken over.
No, dude. No.
The only place that articles make sense is where, like, in coding.
Mark
Workspace,
Seaman is not recording videos every 2 days. He's not.
Yeah, that's right. He's a classic, but not everybody's going to adjust to the same thing, and do the same thing. Obviously, you can still continue to post articles and stuff, but most people aren't. Most people are putting all of their stuff directly into YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Reels, Facebook,
That's fair.
or podcasts.
That's fair, but I think there's still advantages to reading a blog post, especially when you want to learn something that requires visuals of seeing drawings. And I don't know. I'm okay with being wrong, but I still think that there's value that can be extracted from a technical article or a blog post than having to watch a video. A prime example is when you're sleeping with your chick, or when you're late night, you're in bed with your chick, and you don't want to put on a headset or earbuds, but sometimes you do want to scroll and read something, right? No?
Yeah, but like most
put
people
on your
are
earbuds when
scrolling. Most people are scrolling Reels or Shorts or TikTok. I mean, that's just the way it is. But Although you did jostle something loose. I wonder if there's a world where a person could hide the.
There's less barriers to entry when you write a blog post than record a video.
I wonder if you could build out you just build out an app where the blog post doesn't get served up in a way that can be scraped easily, or as I guess you could put everything behind a paywall or just a login wall. But
well, you post it to a native app. A native app isn't a website. It's not. The only thing that they have in common is the HTTP endpoint, but it's not HTML. It's
yeah, but I don't know. I don't read. Well, I mean, I read news articles, I suppose, a bit with it.
So
I don't know.
Really? So you don't hold on, how do I do this? So you don't on your Android phone,
Yeah, I do that.
you don't scroll to the left of it and look at your feed.
Yeah.
Some is videos, but some of it is articles. And
Yeah, I do that.
I find myself doing this almost every day, right?
Yeah, I do that.
Financial Times. This is except this is an article. This isn't a video, and yet I'll still read.
And I do that too. Although you have to click through and try to find all the places where they've got freaking things. But I guess it depends. Like technical articles, I would generally never be looking on my phone. Maybe occasionally I might peruse, but most of the time it'd be at like work and I'm just looking for an answer. I'm not looking for, I don't know, to be intellectually engaged with it.
Well, when you can't find something on when GPT or Gemini is unable to give you the answer that addresses your problem, then the next phase is you're searching for GitHub. You're searching on GitHub issues, or you're looking at Stack Overflow, or you're looking at somebody's blog post. I do that when I run out of options. What does Gambler have to say about it? Or is he not on here? It trees like Sonny Bono. All right, how do I do this?
To Toronto.
Yeah. How does this work? Oh, I got male feed. Where does this plug into?
Was ist das?
This came with a microphone, but what am I supposed to plug it into?
That goes to like recording like stuff.
Yeah, I mean one goes in here, but where's the?
That would go into like a board for like if you're singing or something, like that, or have a professional sound.
Oh, okay.
If you're trying to put it into your computer, you might need an adapter or something.
All right, so then I just use the USB then, right? Because they gave me both of these. All right.
Yeah.
I grew up in a Bugatti. Or I woke up in a Bugatti. To Toronto. All right, so where's the USB? I don't see the USB. Come here, girl. What's your name is? No, I don't see the USB. It has to be here. Where is the USB?
Which mic is that?
It's the Rode. It's the Rode NT1.
5th generation microphone.
I don't see a USB. I don't see a USB.
I'm looking at. There's a video. I'm very close.
My name is Scott. All I do is smoke pot.
Oh. You need to probably have a.
I don't need to have anything. It should be ready to go.
You need a.
They gave me a USB. I don't know what it's for. At the
You
same
need to have an
time,
audio interface. Wait. Yeah. It says connect to an audio interface like AI1 or AL1. It's kind of a cool little tool, though. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, the port's actually inside the spot where you plug the other one into. Like, look at the bottom where you plug that in.
You're talking about look at the cord again?
No, look at the mic itself.
Oh, you're smart.
I'm not smart. I just Googled it.
From Cleveland to Toronto.
Jinx.
Trees like Sunny Bono. I grew up in a
Pattern matched your. Apparently, pattern matched your exact timing for when you start to do that. When you're doing something.
I'm like,
Yeah, because it's like I did jinx you there. I just said the exact same thing at the exact same time.
yeah, scary. I'm running out of. Where's my dude? I don't have any more. I don't have any more USB ports. Just, I gotta bring out my hub. Where's my hub at? The same damn time. The same damn time. The same damn time.
Yeah, man. If I were you, I would check out Claude Code, though. I almost never want to code again. I just want to run agents that do everything now. I'm actually trying to gear myself up to be more of like an AI first developer and really go ham on it. First thing I'm learning though is how to do work with Git work trees. You ever worked with work trees before?
No, what's that?
Because you do most of your
I did trunk based.
personal projects. I do most trunk based, but for work I do everything that you've got to do branching off of Git and.
My job is a nightmare when it comes to quote unquote the branches strategy.
So like the trouble that I have is like when you're working on something and then you get like an urgent bug fix or something you got to do, but it's on a different branch. And so then you got to commit everything, save it all away, then go to that other branch, do all the work there. And then you can come back.
I hate it. It's dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not a huge fan of it either. So,
they do not, they do not like the concept of, take two. I think I am the feature flags number one, like, sponsor. I keep preaching it and they're like, no. So we keep having conversations. Things keep sneaking into production that aren't meant to get into production. There's way more ceremony, way more meetings. I'm like, yo, we at least should have a conversation and then make an informed decision saying no. Like, have an honest conversation about it.
yeah.
They don't want to.
I feel like there is we
have to do what everybody else does. That's mainstream. And then you say, well, okay, well, I'm pretty confident that your highest performing technical organizations aren't doing things mainstream. Yeah, we're not a software company. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a cargo cult mentality around the way to do things, and honestly, I think that AI is going to change that all. I don't think we should be trying to structure code. Well, actually, the thing is I think structuring code for AI use is probably the same as structuring it for human use. Like you want to try to build your code in a way where everything is small and you can understand the context of it very easy. And that doesn't mean you have to necessarily co-locate everything, but like it really would help to just point an AI agent at a directory and have it be small enough and complete enough to build a solid picture of what the feature is, so that it can actually, or the app or whatever, so that it can actually do it. But when you have these like large sprawling code bases, I think you have to piece too much stuff together from too many disparate places, which makes it hard to prompt for and to actually discover the full context.
Why did it? I'm confused. Why don't I have a standard USB?
It's USB-C.
Huh?
That's a USB-C. That's what all the laptops are using nowadays. You switch to your Mac.
How am I supposed to plug into my laptop?
You're going to need to get either an adapter or a different
laptop. Why?
Because everything's using USB-C now.
What, like MacBooks and PCs are using USB-Cs now?
Yeah, I think my laptop has got one regular USB, maybe two, but then I've got a USB-C. I've got at least two USB-Cs on there.
I'm not opening up my MacBook for the first time just so I can use a USB-C.
You should, dude. That's an expensive piece of machinery just to let it sit there. But then you have to get used to to Mac OS. I don't know. Like, I'm a kind of a ride or dyer for Windows, but like knowing that I'm at a disadvantage because we do all of our work on Linux basically kind of sucks. I'm running into performance issues.
How am I supposed to hook up this microphone? It's like, no, F that.
Trying to think if there's any way I could think of for you to do that without. No, you're gonna need some sort of an adapter.
I don't want an adapter. Like, no.
And maybe you can't even use an adapter. You might need a powered I have
this
powered USB.
What is that? This is a USB hub.
Charging.
But it's powered. Yeah, I think it's a charger thingy.
Is it a charger or is it a hub?
I think.
Well, does it have a USB out?
If it has a power cord to it, I thought it was a charger.
Yeah. So you can have a powered USB hub, but in that case, it would probably be to USB-C because it's got so much more. It's got so much more bandwidth on it to do all the things.
I got one that's USB-C back there, but it also has a cord. I thought you just plugged your hub into your PC and your PC supplies power.
No. So like even like classic USB hubs, there's not enough power coming out of that to power all the devices. So you need powered hubs in a lot of cases.
I'll be back. I grew up in a Bugatti.
So I'm trying out test-driven development, but I'm doing it with AI, where AI writes the tests and then goes and solves them. So I'm having it do test-driven development, and I think that's actually like way better way to structure things is to do that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I was researching automated UI testing yesterday when I was driving. Have you ever heard of Maestro?
No.
Crap,
I mean, I've done automated UI testing. We've done through like Cypress.
So hold on. So what? I'm supposed to somehow bridge this, or
unless you have an out on that, it's just a charger.
So why did you have me go to my bedrooms?
I didn't. I told you would need to have a hub, but most likely that hub is going to use USB-C to connect to your actual PC. So you would still need a PC with USB-C. You've got an old laptop if it doesn't have USB-C.
Yeah, I don't have USB-C.
Yeah. Like, I think all of the laptops that I own now, maybe that are in the last 3 or 4 years, have USB-C as the standard, which is what's on your phone, which is like Mac, iOS had to move to USB-C for, even though actually I think that Apple's connector is superior. Its old connector. I wish the world would have standardized around that, because USB-C, you always get shit that your phone won't charge. Like my phone, unless I plug it in just right, it doesn't charge.
So this has like a 65-watt USB-C.
Yeah, to charge your phone.
It has one slot that says 65 watts. You can't really see it. But
yeah, those are probably your fast charger slots. Unless that's an output. In which case, it would be a USB-C to a USB-C. Or maybe a USB, you could have a USB-C to a USB and plug that into your PC if that's an output. You know, it depends on whether that's an output or not.
Well, let's find out. That's dumb. It's not fitting. These other items fit, but the top one doesn't fit. It looks like it's the same thing. Why doesn't it fit?
What?
It doesn't fit, but
show it again.
Yeah, all this other stuff fits, but the top one doesn't fit. It doesn't. I'm looking at it. It doesn't look different from all the other ones.
But it doesn't fit?
No. Well, you can't see because there's no light.
No, I could see. So there's a red and a blue stripe. And it doesn't fit in there, huh? Maybe it's an Apple. Well, because that would be a slot. It wouldn't have that middle thing. I don't know, man. Time to get back on and find an audio interface. But even that's going to use USB-C. So
That's dumb. Dumb engineers. So
you can buy a 10-pack of 200-watt USB-C to USB-C to USB adapters with fast charging for 480 megabytes transfer for like $10, dude. Just get on there and buy it, and you'll be in business.
I needed to be studio quality so I can spit these bars. My name is Scott Dawg.
Well, then like I said, you're gonna need to just hook up your Mac then. Honestly, you need a laptop that just got that then. I don't know. That might be enough though. I mean, these are high speed. They're probably USB 3 or whatever. Yeah.
I spit.
So I was thinking about your app that you're building.
All I do is tote Glocks because I'm on the block. Yeah, what's up?
was thinking about the app that you were making, and you should adjust it so that I can use it for my ice fishing when I'm getting ready for ice fishing. So I have this long list of shit that I have to go through every time to make sure I've got. And literally, it might be better as an ice fishing app because you'd have to know you want to know the weather for your ice fishing trip, and you need to collect all your gear and all your food and everything that you're going to bring along for your ice fishing trip. It's actually like a good to do app for that purpose would be actually really great.
All right. So
I end up just writing down, like, what I do is literally I do a prioritize and execute list, which comes from that book, Extreme Ownership. They talk, and then the follow-up book, which helps me a lot. Actually, I learned so you just write down a list, and then I just literally go through one by one, and I just execute on it until I'm done, and that helps me keep focus. But having an app that does it well would be great, especially if I could just like go on there, click next, and then it tells me what I need to go do. But you're not running off of a server yet, are you?
Nope.
I'll just have to write you the server with AI. I'd be willing to do that. I could write it. You won't like the code probably, but that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah. So this logistics and prep sheet down here.
Yeah.
It has the intel about the logistics or destination. It has the weather, stuff like that. You could put in notes.
We should adapt this for my ice fishing adventures. Actually, there's some other things that would be kind of cool for an ice fishing app, which would be a way to track when you're driving out on the ice, because there's no. So if you've never been ice fishing, when you go out on a big lake, you go out on a resort. We should make a plan for you to come up ice fishing someday. You go out on a lake, and they've got roads. And all of these like resorts, what they do is they make the maps manually, and they print them out and say, here's where you need to go, and here's how you can get to places and stuff like that. But the other thing is, like, when you're going out, if you're gonna have somebody to come and find you, like in the middle of the night, let's say somebody's arriving late and they're gonna come out and meet you at your ice shack, it's hard to know how to drive to them. Like, there's no Google Maps that works on a lake. I had this whole idea, like, what would really be cool is if you had these resorts, all they do is when they run their ice roads, they just start an app and it tracks their road and it maps the road out for you. And then other people can jump on the app and use that, but also track where they go so that it finds other roads. So you build like a Google Maps for an ice road for that 2 months of the year that you can do it in Minnesota. It actually would be really probably in line with what you did with beach delivery, but you'd actually have to do the streaming of the map routing and then commit the map and allow you to see how it changes over time. And then mark landmarks like bridges, because there are bridges over heaves and stuff on lakes. There's a whole like world that's probably underserved here that like, you don't know the amount of money that people put into this. It's an expensive hobby for 2 months out of the year. Yeah. Actually, I was putting it together, and I'm thinking that the amount of money I've spent on ice fishing, if you count my ice shack that I bought, which is also doubles as a camper, but I've probably spent at least $75,000 in the last, if not $80,000 in the last 3 years towards ice fishing. I have two Vexilars. Those are like, that's a large portion of it. I've got two Vexilars, which I think I've showed you these before. I've done for them anyways, but they're a transducer. I don't know if you can still hear me. This one's an expensive one. It's an FL. Oops. And this isn't even the most expensive tools you can buy, but this right here is a Vexilar. When you turn it on, there's this transducer that goes down the ice here. And then there's these these bars, right? And actually, let me show you demo mode. So demo mode shows you kind of like what you might expect during ice fishing, and how like what happened is this thing will go down. So this is like your line going down right here. See that? That's your line going down in the water. And then what'll happen is you'll go down, and it's going to be really slow, but it'll come down, and then it'll find like this is supposed to be a mark. This is supposed to be a fish. And what happens is this goes down, then this fish will come up and grab it, and then you'll see it, or now it's zoomed, but you can see it right there. It's going down still. And that's the fish. So it's going to go to the bottom, and then that fish is going to try to grab it as you jig. It comes up, grabs it, and then you set your hook, and then you see how it went up. That's like what you do during ice fishing with one of these is you oh shoot, I went all the way wrong. Oh no. 1 second. I just gotta turn it off. But yeah, that's kind of what you use Vector for, is because it shows you, it'll show you where the fish are as marks, and then you try to go and jig for them. But that's not even the most expensive. Like that was a $600 buy for that one, and I've got 2 of them. The other one was probably $300-400 in that price range. So that's like $1,000 there, just on those 2. And my ice shack, I've got a flip over thing, which was like $400 or $500. I've got like maybe 5 rods, which are probably about $50 a piece. Tackle is like $5, like anywhere from $2 to like $8 for a little jig. And then not to mention, I got to buy a generator for my ice house. That was like it was like $800.
Yeah, I got one.
Like, yeah, it's all like, when you add it all up, it's insane. Oh, my auger. I've got my auger. You're going to laugh at how my room is super messy, but there's my auger over there in the corner. That was a $400 thing. Plus, then I bought off of Facebook Marketplace another drill for it, which was $75. That was a steal. And then an extension. I got a rod holder. Like, dude, buckets, gasoline, propane. I bought another propane tank for my house.
What do your friends bring?
All the same stuff, basically.
Oh, I thought they were just freeloading off of you.
No. I mean, I had a freeload off them for a while, but yeah, if you look up these things called Garmin live scopes, live scope, that actually shows you like a 3D. It's a forward-facing sonar. It shows you the actual like floor of your lake, and then all the fish appear as you can see them as little like floating around little things. If you were to go out and watch videos about ice fishing, and look at most people that are professionals are using live scope, and you could see, like, you can watch them, they'll jig and they could see the little fish come in, and then they'll have their jig over here and the fish will go and then go grab it. And those are like $3,000 for just the unit, and then you buy a bunch of accessories for it. Dude, it's an expensive hobby. Buddy heaters are relatively cheap, but they're still like $80 or something. But then you got lines for them, and like I said, you got to buy propane every time you go out. Dude, it's an expensive hobby.
How much time
people spend money on it?
How much time do you spend out there?
I try to do it as many weekends as I can from December to February.
No, but like, how long is a session of ice fishing? Is it like 3 hours?
Well, when you're in your house, you're just actively or passively fishing for the entire time. So you spend a whole weekend doing it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what we did.
I thought you just spent like half a day there and then y'all go back home.
No, 2 weekends ago, I was at this lake called Red Lake, and we were there from New Year's Eve to Friday. I was there till Saturday. So that was like, 3 nights or something like that. And And so you're just living in the shack, basically. The thing that sucks the most is when you have to take a crap. And then you have to do it in these bags, and then you tie them up and bring it outside.
Yeah,
And let it freeze your turds. But
they have powder.
No. This is what we do: is we have a toilet in our camper, but it's a wet toilet. It's for the summer.
Okay.
What you do is you put a garbage bag on the bottom, then you put another one in, then you put the seat down over that. You crap into the bag, then you bundle the bag up, bring it outside, let it freeze. You have to put it in your truck because Minnesota has a law that you can't put garbage or anything on the ice.
What I'm saying is you can use that same process, and there's a powder that you can put in the bag even before you take a poop. Actually, I think you do it after you take a poop. I'm not sure. It probably doesn't matter. And
probably gets the scent away.
And then, well, that and it hardens it, and it removes the scent. Because I'll believe it or not, I rinsed it out for my beach mobile. People
really? People
are taking poops.
It's a cassette toilet.
Cassette toilet.
They're like the little like. I don't know. They're just a small like toilet. They're called cassette.
Yeah, toilets. It was a portable toilet. It was a, I don't know what you call it, a portable, expandable toilet. It was a piece of plastic that could hold like an accordion.
Yeah.
Like, if war or COVID 2027 were to come back to the States, I think I could survive for 2 weeks with all the beach mobile equipment I have.
Food is the big problem. You can stock up and build your dry food supply with stuff that lasts 30 years that's freeze dried. You ever watch people do freeze drying and that? You want to go down a rabbit hole? Go look at stuff about freeze drying. It looks like a lot of like people will freeze dry, let's say tomatoes, and then you can put them in they're 99% the same nutrition and all that. And then you get a powder, you could throw them in a blender, create a powder out of them and use them for stuff. Or the big thing that people started doing was freeze drying Skittles. And they puff up into these like balls. Now Skittles is actually doing this because it was so popular. They puff up into these balls, and then you have these like little candy like poppers that you can do. A lot of people freeze dry eggs, and you can do whole meals and stuff like that. There's a whole subculture around it, dude.
Yeah, so are you going to port the app for your ice fishing?
I don't know if I'd port it. It could actually work as it is, but maybe if we skinned it and added some ice fishing features. But you should make it a pluggable or a plugin or a plug-in capable thing where people can build plugins for it. And then you could build the ice map tracker that I talked about, but you need a server to share it. I think that would actually be a killer app idea, though. And then if you could get,
oh yeah, I have plans for that. Like if I show you I don't have to show it to you, but
yeah.
So the Enterprise Edition has like teams where basically you just like GitHub, you can assign people to your. You can give people access to your project. And then you could give them permissions to do certain things in your project. And then also I have an audit log. So basically like records events that are stateful to the app.
Mm-hmm.
And then the UI can reflect the activity. And so someone can, like the owner or administrator, can subscribe to the activities of that project, and they can see a log of different people and what they've been doing to the project that the team is working on.
Yeah, but I think you'll need. I mean, yeah, you could do that over that like local whatever, but you're gonna need a server for this.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah. I said you should. I should try. I should try to build it with AI for using because I've been looking for a project that I can work on my own time with my own tools. Like everything I do at work is for work, but like I have separate tools myself, and I'm looking for like a project that I could try so I could hone my skills, kind of a thing. And the thing about AI is it's not a time suck like sitting down and trying to do it manually would be. Mostly, it's what's great. Actually, I'm realizing about AI is
I'll give you access.
You get to do more of what you like to do, which is architect the actual. Well, for me, anyways, what I like to do is I like to architect the app and think about how you think about things and how you structure them to maximize efficiencies and stuff like that.
I'll give you access to the repo and you can mess around with it. There's
sounds good. Yeah.
All I have is views and view models. That's it.
You just create a branch and create a server for you.
and I have a search engine.
Yeah. Actually, I'd like to do a project with that Microsoft Orleans. If this sounds like it would be actually, because if you have multiple people doing stuff, you're going to have concurrency issues, which is what that solves. It's like you can have standard API for doing your queries and stuff like that, but when you're committing and making changes and trying to get real time stuff, it could be you can have concurrency issues if you have multiple people trying stuff. And you need a website.
Yeah, no.
But actually, I do think that these tools could reverse engineer a website based on the app. Like, hey, make a web version of this and just convert it to a website, or just what you'd have to do is probably break down your app into all of the pieces. Start with like the underlying bit and say, make this into a web app with just the host and the authorization and all that stuff. Then you have to drill into specific vertical features and have it build out just that feature. Then you test each one as you go. I'm going all in on AI programming. I'm just going to do it and see if I can. The other thing that's cool about it, I'm realizing too, is the real throughput gains for coding with AI is probably parallelizing and doing a bunch of changes in verticals, which is why I'm trying to figure out work trees right now, because work trees would accommodate that, where you set an AI agent on this work tree, do work, then you go to this other work tree, which is a Git thing, and you have it do this work over here. And then you just stage them all up to do their work. And then as they complete or have questions, you just go and answer them. And then when you're done, you just drill in and start doing your manual review of everything and testing and fixing.
You're so confident about this. What have you built?
Dude, I've built like for work tooling for me for work. Because the other thing I didn't realize about AI, or haven't thought, because we always think about using it to try to finish your project. But you can also use AI to build tools to help you move faster to complete your projects. I built like two fully functional tools for work that I'm going to use in like the last 3 days the last 4 days, 5 days, without spending, any like time actually sitting down and writing code. And they work like great. I actually vibe coded an entire thing about creating product demo videos. That I still need to dog food it a bit to make sure that it's useful, but yeah, it's like you just like, oh, I have a need for software to do this that'll make me run faster. You just tell AI go to make it, and you have to think about it. You can't just like, if it's a sufficiently complex app, it's not going to do a great job at building it from one prompt. You have to actually you have to build a foundation and then ask it to build features within that foundation. And as long as it's structured in a good way where it can easily understand the context of how to add a vertical feature, you could just infinitely repeat. and just say, build this feature, fix this. And it goes in and acutely fixes those things, but you have to do it incrementally, like we should do in software. You have to treat it like a developer, like
You have to spoon
build
feed
this
it.
small piece. Yeah, you can't just say, build me an app. You have to say, build me you have to use your coding knowledge and how to structure things to say, build me this piece and make it solid. Then build this piece and make it solid. Build this piece and make it solid.
Yeah, my README file is now like over 500 lines.
Yeah.
And it refers to that for UI UX standards, guidelines, and app overview.
Yeah.
And it's
And you can define agents that do that too. So like Claude Code, and I think Codex has this too. You can create an agent, and all an agent is well, it's a starter prompt, right? And you can tell it like, you're a UI expert or whatever, and here's all of the things that I want you to specifically point to or be an expert in. So it sets the stage for what it needs to think about. Then with Claude, you can actually refer to that agent, and it'll go use that thing. It'll delegate tasks off to it. So if you have your UI and your API, you can create agents for each that are like expert developers. Then you can have expert code reviewers, expert test, whatever agents. And then you just, and requirements people or designers, whatever you want. And you just tell it, hey, use this agent or this. It's like having a team. I don't know. My son's getting on the bus. Good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like I said, I've.
The thing is,
Claude Code made me like switch the. It just
shift.
made me like, yeah, it paradigm shift me.
So one of the challenges I found is you have a feature that spreads across like 5 different pages, and each page has a corresponding like view model, or in your terms, a controller.
Yeah, no. So I've done MVVM.
So you have a README file that's like 500 lines of guidance and instruction and overview, and then you have another, let's say, 10 files, in which each file is really kind of like one file, but it's presentation and state, right? So there's 2 different files for each concept of a view. And so when you give it all those files, aka all those arguments, for it to as context, it does like half the job. And that's what I've run into. The more that I evolve this app, and the more that there's a feature that needs to sync with several other pages within the application, I find myself having to spend maybe half a day trying to get everything aligned and in tune, because it won't get it the first, second, third, or fourth. I have to go to each page and remind it to use the README as context for UI UX. Then I have to say, is this the ideal UI UX that maximizes a user's productivity, efficiency, effectiveness, all while reducing risk? I have to run that prompt like every 3 prompts for whenever I ask Gemini to do something. And I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely happy with the UI UX. It's just very tedious.
Yeah, Gemini is like, Gemini is like a real bottom of the barrel type one, I'm realizing. Although the thing that Gemini does is it's extremely fast, but it does very specific tasks really fast, and it doesn't do a lot of like large thinking about it. However, I found a good pattern where if you basically pass it to build a task list itself, you can, and you break down everything you want it to do in a task list, and then have it refine that task list into another one, and just have each of those become markdown files. It can churn through a task list like a normal like Claude Code would, and it does it pretty decently and fast. So, like, I think it's not a problem with the tools. It's just that we have to think about different ways to think about how we break problems down. Like, I think this is what we call context engineering, right? You have to engineer for the context to maximize the ability for the AI to actually understand the context and execute within that context. And so, like, making sure you have smaller context windows and files that you can feed it, but understanding the broader universe, and what you're trying to do. Like, I just think we need to structure code differently than what we used to, because we can't get away with sprawling out big context in large files across a lot of space. You need to have a lot of small contexts that represent a complete thing, where it can go out and be like, oh yeah, that I could put all the pieces together, in just one. Now, I said that doesn't mean you can't have it sprawl it out. It's just, I think it's easier if you put it in a place where you can just feed it the directory and say, this is the feature, go and update it, kind of a deal. So,
Yeah,
like, thinking plugin architectures, that's really what we need to move towards, is more plugins.
I got like one really, really large file, which is around 1,000 lines of code. Actually, no, I take that back. I got two large files because I have the view and the view model. They're each approximately between 1,000 and 1,200 lines of code, and it's tedious trying to get enhancements in there because I provided other files for additional. Like, I still provide the README, and then to your point, I have separate text files that explain feature requirements that I also feed it. And then I feed it other files that are related, other views and view models that are related. So it has a better understanding of the context and of the application and what it needs to keep in mind when it needs to pass arguments to other pages or view models from the app. So again, like, I still think if I were to do all this manually, one, it would have been impossible to get the UI UX that I have. I'm not trained that way, and to be fair, I've been learning a lot about UX. Like, there's certain like laws and rules, and
oh yeah,
it's my first time even hearing about this stuff, because it's telling me, and it's referring to the README file, and it's saying, when you purposely have friction is when you don't want the user to accidentally do something that could be difficult for them to undo, or challenging that means the same thing, or inadvertently do something that in a normal use case no one would really do. So I'm learning a lot. It actually makes me want to buy a book specifically for mobile UX design patterns, which I don't think exists. That's another thing.
I think it does.
Mobile UX design patterns?
Probably.
I
The
checked.
thing is, design patterns are kind of universal, but there's also a mindset shift too. Have you ever? Well, I haven't finished this, but I should. The design of everyday things talks like that. That really gets you started on the UI UX language. I think that's a fundamental read for designers. I'm not a designer, so I haven't fully read it, but I listened to half of it on an airplane. But it talks about things like do you know what an affordance is and a signifier, and like how those relate?
Nope.
So like an affordance is something that is basically like a capability or a feature. An affordance is something that you afford the user. So the ability to remove an item from a list is an affordance, right? You afford the user an ability to remove something on a list. And a lot of people will call them affordances, and what they're really talking about is the signifier bit, which is a signifier signifies how you do that affordance, and that's what you put into your UI. And so you could start to build this like language and think about, all right, what am I affording the user to do here? And then two, what signifies that affordance is available, and how do I communicate that this is capable to do? So there's that, but there's all sorts of other there's actually I went to this was like 2012. I went to VS Live, and Billy Hollis was gave the workshop on UX, like design and stuff like that. And there's a whole set of principles about it. This really ties back to human psychology and how we interpret data and see things. Like, for instance, like color theory, right? I think you've gone down this path before. Maybe like, what is green? Why do we respond to green and think it's good and go and like all of that kind of stuff? It's because we like green because it represents open space and prosper. We don't like red because that's like blood. It's hot.
Blood, fire.
Yeah. So there's like the way, and then dark. Like dark sometimes can be like, oh, it's a scary dark place versus light. Like there's a whole slew of like things like that. And then there's rules about like when things are grouped together, they're treated as, or like we interpret them as being related to each other, even if they're not. Like if you put two things next to each other in a tight grouping, and then put another grouping over here where two things are we will put those two things and say that these go together and these go together, even if they have nothing to do with each other. We'll try to figure out why they go together because they're grouped. So groupings, actually, I don't remember what the name of this was.
No, that makes sense. And I'm learning all this. So I think Google has like a whole bunch of web documents that provide guidance on UX design, but there's no book. It's just a huge volume of web documents.
Yeah.
And
principles.
I'm a book person. Like I like books.
So look at the Gestalt principles or Gestalt laws. So there's like a law of similarity. Like if things look the same, we group them. There's this like law of proximity. If they're near each other, we group them. There's this continuity thing. If you have an item and then it's spread out, but there's continuity in pieces. Like if you have a bunch of dots on a page, right, and the dots go in a pattern, you like interpret that as a line or a squiggly line rather than just being a bunch of dots on the page. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff like that. So I think you need to do to be good at UX design is study those basics. So like the design of everyday things, the Gestalt principles, any other types of those like fundamental UX things. Color theory, like I said, is a big one. And then you can basically compose up from there how to like build it and stuff. We're also influenced a lot by devices and what we're given to by Apple and Google.
Yeah. Are you programming on? Are you on a PC or a Mac?
I'm on a PC.
Do you have a Mac?
No. I'm not an Apple person. I have no Apple devices in my house.
Well, I'm forced to use it for work, but now that I know how to use it more or less. So the biggest reason why I haven't opened up my MacBook Pro M4 Max doesn't have Visual Studio, right? I can't install Visual Studio. And me and Visual Studio are like this, son. When it comes to like shortcuts, which is another separate topic, it amazes me when I pair program with people and I'm like, why does it take so long for this person? Why are you pointing and clicking on your mouse to do something so like it drives me crazy. But that's probably the biggest reason why I haven't unboxed my MacBook is because I really enjoy Visual Studio, and I'm not sure how much friction there's going to be if I use like Rider or.
I think Rider is pretty close. I would, if I were you, Tron Mac, I would just give Rider a try to see if you can adapt
for mobile development.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I don't know. I'd give it a try though. It's obviously for .NET development, Visual Studio's up here. It's the best. I think that's just true because it's just always up to date and it's with the latest everything,
Mm-hmm.
because Microsoft writes it. But then Rider is a close second. Like, I think it's better. It's definitely better than VS Code for .NET development. VS Code is shit for .NET development. I'll tell you that.
And Rider, like there is a community version. It's you pay a year subscription.
There might be a trial. I would see if you can try.
What is it, like
It's just to see.
100 a year or something?
Let me see. What is it for a personal writer? Because JetBrains, do you ever use ReSharper back with?
I was never a fan of ReSharper.
Oh, for non-commercial uses, you can use it for free. So if you wanted to try a non-commercial trial product, and then there's Writer Commercial, which is, it looks like it. I don't know, it's confusing. It's like it says 169 per year, and it says it goes down, so it's like 169 for the first year. Second year 135, third onwards is 101. It's about $100. I don't know why they do that. Why do they have an upfront thing? Maybe people
because they want to make sure that
they turn. Oh, you know what they do is they turn it on, and then they shut it off after they need it. They probably buy like a month at a time as they need it, and so they make the first month more expensive so that they get the extra, thing that they would otherwise be losing over the long term. I'm guessing that's why it's structured like this. But I don't know. It has a lot of the same features as Visual Studio. There might be options for key bindings.
I need the shortcuts. I live and die with shortcuts.
Yes, JetBrains has a predefined Visual Studio key map that allows users to use most of the same shortcuts they're accustomed to in Visual Studio. So you can switch to the map easier. You go to settings and key map, and then you can pick Visual Studio 2022 or Visual Studio. Yeah. And there's also VS Code map. So.
My name is Scott.
I don't, dude. I'd pull your Mac up and give it a shot. I would. I'm curious to see how well someone who's very into .NET, because I've been 2 years now on just using 2.5 years on using VS Code at work for development. So I've sort of now I've adapted to it, and going back to Visual Studio is difficult. It's still better, I think, but like you get into the patterns, and so it kind of sucks. But yeah, like those are all going to have USB-C outs. You're going to need to get the adapter.
I just realized something. But this is Mac though.
Yeah.
This is Mac. Oh. So what am I supposed to buy? I'm supposed to buy this?
Do you have a USB-C? That won't do you any good otherwise. That's like a full MacBook.
What am I supposed to type in so that I could connect this microphone to my computer?
Do like USB-C to USB adapter. It's right there. USB-C to USB adapter. And then you can have the multi-port. Depends on whether you want to plug other things in. But see those little like adapters there? That's what I was talking about. You can buy the cords too, but I don't know if that'll work well with your mic though. Your mic might need to power it. It might need a powered USB hub.
No, the MacBook M4 it has enough power.
Dude, your MacBook M4 will have USB-C. You don't need an adapter.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm tired. I meant, yeah, sorry. My PC. I don't know why I just said what I said.
Yeah, your
So,
PC has enough power, but it doesn't output that power through USB at the
so
rate that you need for that. You'll need probably a powered hub.
okay.
Sorry, I know I just said like don't worry about the powered hub, but it's. I mean, maybe you could try it. It's pretty cheap to buy one of those little dongles. Like you get a pack of them.
Else,
I would just try one and see if it works. If it
hold
doesn't,
on,
then go to the hub.
hold on. Else, this is a very expensive solution. Where am I at? So I got this. Where's it at? It was in my. I don't know where it went. Oh, you should. Do you have a water filter or a
No,
purifier? A water purifier?
like a mobile one like that.
Yeah.
I don't have a bottle like that. I've got a Catadine pump filter, but it's for like when you're in a lake and you're going to drink lake water. Man,
See,
I spend like
I already bought that one.
$80 a year for my boundary water strips to buy a new Catadine filter every time.
I bought this.
You know what you really need is look up the Rode A1 or AI-1. Trench coat women.
I'm kinky. I removed it from my list. It was called I don't even remember the name anymore. It was a audio. It was an audio input
Yeah,
thingy.
look up Rode AI-1. RODE space.
But that wasn't what I was looking. Okay,
Oh.
fine.
That's what this thing said to use for the best studio setup, but it's still USB-C at the
All
end.
right, fine. I'll look it up. You said Rode
It has
what?
volume, Rode A1 or AI, which is audio input -1. It's right there, the fourth. Yeah, there you go. Audio interface, USB audio interface. Yeah. It's that first result there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is what I was going to. I was going to get this. Hold up. I can't remember the name of it. What was the name of it? Where are you at, Gemini?
Hercules.
It was so long ago. Yeah, it's not going to remember. What's the ideal audio interface for recording? Oh, stop! For recording voiceovers. I removed it from my shopping cart, and now I'm wondering if I need to get it back again. I will be using DaVinci Resolve. How do you spell DaVinci? DaVinci.
DAVINCI? I don't know.
Rode. What was it called? NT1. And a MacBook Pro for Max. Is MacBook a capital B? Yeah. There's one that had really good reviews, and it was I think it was like $1,800, or no, I think it was $2,200. It was in my shopping cart for like a couple months, and then I finally removed it. And it was German made. Says Apollo, but that wasn't what I was looking for. Is there a German alternative competitor? I know it was German. Who do you think would have won the war if during World War II if it was Germany versus Japan?
That's a good question. So Germany was like a big land battle thing. I think Japan had more of a. I don't know, because they could probably never really. I mean, the U-boats could sink the ships, but then I don't know that they'd have any of them could have enough to invade the other. So you'd have to move a large amount of troops, like across the world, basically.
Yeah, it was. I think it was R&E. Or I think this is. I think this is. It was more expensive. I think this is it right here. Are you doing flaw coding?
Yeah, I'm just feeding it prompts to refine things while I'm sitting here, because it's nice because I don't have to sit and actively code. I can just tell it to do stuff, and I don't have to do it. Dude, my nicotine experiment has been going kind of interestingly. I'm definitely addicted, which has its upsides and downsides. But dude, the amount of focus that you get out of it, it's kind of worth it at this point. Probably not later if I develop cardiovascular disease from it, but I know there. I guess I looked at that, and like the actual science around the nicotine as an isolated chemical is still a little bit watery. So I don't know. I was thinking about it, I'm like, I'm gonna die anyways, and if I can get some benefit out of it right now, it'd be great.
No, no, that's not wise.
Well,
I don't think you consider the quality of life when you're dying.
yeah, no, I definitely know that. I watched Scott Adams die over the last 3 months.
Oh, I didn't know he was dying. But,
Yeah, no, he died. He had prostate cancer, it's at about the same time Biden did. And then he was gonna actually do the medical suicide back in July last year, but he found that because the pain was unbearable. But he found that apparently they pumped him full of something that basically they put him on a medication that removed testosterone entirely, which isn't a great thing, but it made the pain go away because the cancer needs testosterone to feed. and to do its work. So it brings down your inflammation a ton. And then he went on some trial drugs and stuff, and then he those didn't take, so he ended up passing away. Dude, I bawled when I first read it, and it took me a minute. I watched the video where they announced he had finally passed away, and then I was like, oh, that's sad. And then I came down here and I was listening longer, and I was just like thinking about how much he's been a part of my life since basically 2016 time frame, and it was just sad. I just started crying.
Well, like, what's the connection that you have with
So well, there's a number. First, it was his book, how to fail at almost anything and still win big. It's honestly, I don't know that you need another self-help book that covers pretty much all the basics of it. But that book really had a profound impact on me in terms of the way I think and the way that I look at things. The back in 2016 or 2015 when Trump was getting elected, he was the first one to come out and point out, like, there's something else going on here with Trump. He's not just like, everything he does is very, very by the book psychological stuff that people learn if they get into hypnosis and psychology. And he talked about patterns, and it really changed, because I wasn't a Trump fan when he was running in the primaries, but then once I started to listen to him and I could start to begin to see the patterns emerge that he was talking about, like, it almost felt like you had this like elevated sense, like everybody else was looking at the surface of Trump at that time, right? Everyone was looking at the surface of Trump and being like, oh, this and that, he's so brash, blah, blah, blah. He's just so random and weird and different. But all of that was, he pointed out or framed it in a way where, no, this is all intentful techniques that they teach you in psychology and that. And I guess Trump went through the same school of persuasion and that as some other people, like who's that guy who goes and gives the big like tent things, Tony Robbins, that kind of school like of things.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, and like even like his latest book, Reframe Your Brain, I guess it would be his last book, or maybe was it his last book. It gives you a lot of just ways to think about stuff that's just different. And I don't know, he just changed the way I thought. He had an impact on me. And I think that's why when we mourn, we only mourn for people that had an impact on us, a strong impact on us, and changed our life and touched our lives in some meaningful way. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but like my and I feel very bad for my wife here, but her dad passed away a few weeks ago. I didn't shed a tear for him at all, because I mean, he didn't really have a profound, himself, obviously through his daughter, had a big impact on my life, but himself didn't have a major impact on my life, didn't touch me in any way. So there's nothing to mourn or to mourn a loss. I didn't lose anything. My wife lost somebody, and I feel bad for her, and obviously I sympathize and empathize with her, and I'll try to be there for her, but it just wasn't the same thing. But when he died, he touched my life in a way. And so you mourn that loss, and I don't know. It's weird. That sucks. I guarantee you, when you pass away, I'm gonna be, if you pass away first, I'm gonna be crying for you, man. I'll tell you that right now, unless we have a big falling out or something.
I promise you, I'm going to be the first one to go. Moving to PC changes, the landscape significantly changes.
Who knows? But I could get hit by a bus. Actually, the biggest thing is I'd have no idea how we would know. Like, it would just literally be if we stopped talking with each other. That's how we would know the other person passed away. No other, unless you went to jail or something, or I went to jail. That would be the other thing but I think I would try to find a way to message you. let you know I can't do it because I'm in jail.
There would be a higher probability of you seeing me slipping away over time. Else, yeah, I think I'm too old to get caught in like drive-bys or stupidity. But, yeah, I think genetically you'll see me slipping away. Correct.
No, I hope not. I wish you a long and prosperous life, man.
I would like that. I ask you a question though. I ask you this question all the time. And I think you have the same answer, but I'll ask it again. Do your friends or family think it's weird that there's this person like 2,000 miles away that you talk to once a week, you never met, but y'all chop
Yeah, a
it up
little
for
bit.
like an hour and a half? Do they ever watch? Do they ever watch the videos?
I hope not. No, probably not. I actually probably talk a little bit more to you candidly about things than I do them, which is so weird because it's all just over the internet. Like, I'd assume that if a very sensitive person came on and was trying to do research on me and they stumbled upon us for hiring, they wouldn't hire me. They're like, oh, this person's too outspoken. Even though I feel like I'm pretty tempered in my things, but some people don't see that. I mean, I try to think about other people's sides.
The only thing that you said that was funny was a KFC joke.
I talk about that all the time. I tell everybody, I'm like, yeah, my friend got a little offended about that, or not offended, but I don't know, thought it was really racist, but it wasn't a joke. Like I thought I mistook soul food and comfort food. They're two different things. I get that now. Because I guarantee KFC is a comfort food. And that's why my mind went to that. It's hearty, it's rich food, it's good, but it's more, it's not like, I wouldn't call McDonald's a comfort food. They have comfort food items like shakes and stuff like that, but most of what they serve at KFC is comfort food, I think.
I think I'm gonna
very rich.
I think I'm gonna unbox the MacBook Pro next Friday. Are we talking next Friday?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know that I have anything going on. So I'm doing this like fishing thing this weekend. And I'm gonna go drive out to the lake tonight, fish with some people, and then come back tomorrow, do some stuff, and then bring my house out for fishing for the next 2 nights. But yeah, that's why I can't make tomorrow. But hell yeah, let's do an unboxing video next week. Why not? That'd be kind of fun. I think you'd be like, oh, why does MacBooks require 10 dongles and adapters for everything?
Oh. My name is Scott. All I do is drop balls. How much is your desk? What is your desk? Do you have like a desk?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of messy, but you can kind of see it's this wooden.
I have a $20 collapsible table that I've been using for like 8 years, and it does what it does. Like it works.
Yeah. I went when I started working from home. I went on and said I want a deep desk. Like it had to be deep so I could fit the monitors back farther. It had to be wide. So this is a pretty big slab of a desk. And I have another desk over there that's skinnier, which is a corner one. But that one sucks. Actually,
I don't know why today feels like Friday. Probably
because we're talking.
This, yeah. All I do is spit balls.
Let me see if I can actually find the desk that I have. Another desk I have. Oh, here it is.
Where's Gambler, man? He abandoned me. Yeah, the question is
Thursday.
The question is, we will never know if Gambler died or if he got sent to prison.
True. I just asked you in the chat. That's my desk.
I don't even know his name.
Oh, I feel like he's told us.
He looks like a
Switzerland.
Tyreek. He looks like a Tyreek.
Shaniqua.
or Jamal?
Yeah, that's the desk I have.
Okay.
It's,
It's
what
kind of
kinda-
pricey because when I was at office, so I think I told you I got this chair like a month and a half ago because my other one literally just snapped in half while I was sitting in it. I think you've seen me fall out of
You
my
got the
chair.
shack one. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So like when I was at Office Max, they had desks for like $200, and they look nice. I always thought the desks were going to be like $600, $800.
But you can get nice, really like real wood, nice furnished ones for probably thousands of dollars. But it's all depending on how premium you want to go on things.
Well,
Like I
like
said,
I
I was
mean,
looking for utility. So.
I'm in my private work office is in my living room, so I don't know if I really want to. I don't know. I want to get a house, man, but that's a separate conversation.
Yeah, you could afford it if you move to a rural place. Well, you could probably afford it anyways, but you definitely afford it if you, dude. How much you pay with rent is like twice as much as I pay for my mortgage.
I pay over $30,000 a year in rent.
Yeah, that's. I don't like we're paying more, but I think our mortgage, the bottom of it is like maybe $1,200 or something like that. If you, that's with escrow and insurance baked in. So it's really. I mean, we like I said, we pay more on it, but of course, we got in at the right time. Like our house when we bought it, it's basically doubled in price at this point. I think so. Maybe doubled. Maybe like 1.75. But
I grew up in a Bugatti. It's not 05, so I guess. Do you not have to work today?
no, I got to work. I probably should actually drop off.
I grew up in a Bugatti.
Did you play with Suno at all? Make some
Uh,
beats.
I was showing somebody the song that you created yesterday. I was showing a a Maui developer,
Mhm.
and he was like, he was like, "What does it mean when you hit trees?" Do you know what that means?
Well, I know that Sonny Bono hit a tree, but hitting a
So,
tree, no.
so tree is slang for marijuana. So,
Oh,
like you'll
I
when
hit
you
I hit
when you
trees like Sonny Bono last night. Then no.
there you go. Like I don't do drugs, but I remember when I was a teenager. I think I was like 19 or something. One of my best friends that I was staying with, he was like, "I hit trees like Sonny Bono," and it just stuck in my mind. And then he went to prison. But so I stole his lyric.
There
So
you go.
that's a short
You have to
story.
credit it. Now you've told everyone where the bar comes from. So if you sue you if you get like a record label. No.
Yeah, he'll kill me. He already did time for manslaughter. So
Oh wow. Yeah.
on that note, all
I
right, we'll finish
suppose.
it.
Yep. All right. Catch you next week. Bye.
See you. Bye.